Hey, folks, welcome to Market Intraday Analysis by InTheMoneyStocks.com, your leaders in pure technical analysis, avoiding all that Wall Street hype. This video for Tuesday, November 15th, 2011 is brought to you by Realtic. All right, let's get right into the mix today. Markets are higher across the board. We're seeing a good, solid midday rally going on right now, although it has started to stall out at a key level. Now, the biggest thing to just see in the markets, and you can see it very clearly on the charts, essentially we've negated the entire move down yesterday. Yesterday was just a small move down. Well, we're essentially reversing that entire move from yesterday and moving back up. And you can see this is where we closed on Friday. This is Friday's close, and yesterday we went down, and today we're right back up towards those levels. Now, you are running into resistance. See this pink line? This is why I have these levels on my charts. These levels that I put on my charts for you guys to view are master levels. They can be utilized to go long or short depending on whether or not the line is support or resistance. So obviously at support you look for a long play, at resistance you look for a short play. Clearly you can see that the market stalled right at this little line and is now pulling back. Okay, and down here you can see we had a nice pierce to the double bottom. It actually pierced in this case, but there was no in-the-money stocks confirmation signal given of a breakdown. Therefore, you can still play that beautifully on the long side and look at the reversal to the upside. So again, beautiful little move up from here and a little bit of a move down starting right from this resistance level up there. All right, and again, if you look at the original open on the markets, we had a small open lower, surged up to the green line right here, and then pulled back. So the levels are working perfectly today, as you can see. Down move, then an up move. And again, you wouldn't look to really scalp the second hit of a line. It's only the first hit of a line during the course of a day that you utilize. If you utilize the in-the-money stocks methodology, you essentially put yourself in the position to make winning trades 9 out of 10 times. That's the way it works, folks. Most people wish they could make 50% winning trades. Here, utilizing the in-the-money stocks methodology, it's 9 out of 10. That's what you're going to do if you learn the methodology correctly, which we teach in the Research Center in the Intraday Stock Chat. All right, again, we're giving out live trades in the intraday stock chat, intraday and swing trades. And in the Research Center, we're giving out our swing trades. I post them live. Whatever I'm taking, my members in the Research Center know. You can take a 7-day free trial. No obligation. 7 days free. Going to InTheMoneyStocks.com and signing up very easily. All right, so what do we have going on today? Essentially, what we're seeing is a whipsaw based off of yields in Europe. Spain and Italy continue to be the forefront of this whole debacle going on in Europe. Greece is now in the history books, at least for now. It will reemerge at some point, but they've kind of placated that whole situation for now. Again, everyone's focusing on Italy and Spain right now, and the markets are just kind of yo-yoing. It is options X week, so they're going to kind of whip it around as well. And you can see that whipsaw. Today, negating yesterday's move, and then even on an intraday basis, a sharp move down early, and then a move back to the highs of the day here, midday to early afternoon. Let's take a look at what the dollar is doing today. The dollar is a little bit higher, but I think the key with the dollar is this pullback right here. All right, if you look at the markets and you have an up move on the dollar early on, and then a down move on the dollar over the last 2 hours or so, notice that kind of mountaintop pattern is the inverse of the valley you see on the spiders. And this is just going to show you how the markets move inverse to the dollar. So here you have a valley, right? So initially the markets go down, then up. And if we go to the dollar chart on the UUP, which is the dollar ETF, you have the mountain. It's the inverse. You go up and then down. So from wherever the dollar starts the day, it's all about where does it go during market hours. And high-frequency trading programs that institutions utilize this. What they do is they read the dollar instantaneously, whether the dollar is upticking or downticking, and then the program, the high-frequency trading program, will either sell or buy based on the opposite move in the dollar. All right, and this is done a split second. And that's the way it's programmed right now, and that's the way it's going to continue to be programmed until this parallel in the opposite direction type thing changes. All right, let's take a look at the USO today. USO is up about 54 cents. Decent little move today, although you are seeing oil selling off here just a little bit over the last 30 minutes. But again, it's a very nice move. If you go to your daily chart, you can see you are above the 200 moving average. My guess is this is where you're generally heading right now, which is the 39 level. 39 on the USO, which is the ETF that tracks the oil trade. And again, there's going to be significant resistance at 39. And I think anywhere between this 200 and this level up here, you're definitely looking at a pullback probability, a high probability at some point over the next week or so on the oil trade. The GLD today is down a little bit. You could make a case that the fact that the dollar's up a little bit, gold is down. It's just an inverse to the dollar play type thing here on the commodity side. But nonetheless, the longer term pattern on the GLD is very, very bearish here. I don't know when this pattern will break down. It's something that I'm kind of eyeing here with the members in the research center. I talked about it last night in the technical analysis video, which you get access to as part of the research center. But this is a long-term in spirit of bear flag pattern that ultimately will play out to the 200. The question is, where is the perfect opportunity to take the trade to the short side? The SLV is the same type of situation here. Beautiful in spirit of bearish pattern. What I like about this, by the way, is that you're not above the 200 and you're even hovering right around the 50. Any sort of break of the 20 and this thing probably collapses very, very quickly to the downside. Okay? So I'll be watching those very, very closely. Now, let's take a look at JP Morgan. JP Morgan started out very, very weak, had a big, big move up. I love this first candle. Whenever you see these first candles of this magnitude where it's the green like that, and JPM gapped lower and just basically in the first 10 minutes of the day on this 10-minute chart goes back to the flat line, then notice the consolidation. You get all inside bars inside this green candle. And then look at the move up. And this is bullish in spirit of consolidation inside this big green first candle. And then look at the move up you get later today. Where does it go? It goes right to the 200 moving average. And this is why you have to know your technical levels, and you must know the methodology, because this is technically an in spirit of pattern, bullish pattern. It's telling you it wants to go up, and then all of a sudden you go up. Where's your target? Well, the upside of the target should be the 200 moving average, because that's your resistance, right? And sure enough, it takes you right there. So the charts really tell you everything. I always joke around with my members, but it's kind of true that if you wanted tomorrow's newspaper today so you can know the future, you just read the charts, and the charts will tell you that. All right? Now let's take a look at a couple other stocks out there. ExxonMobil up 21 cents. Really not a big move on Exxon, although it's had a nice move off the lows of the day. But again, up 20 cents on Exxon is kind of a move. Nothing major there. And then, of course, we should always take a look at Apple. Apple's having a good bounce back day today. But look at that, right to the 200 moving average and stalling out here as well. Interestingly enough, I had called for the bearish move on Apple about a week or so ago, right off of this in spirit of pattern. Great breakdown. I think this is getting a bounce here, and I think you possibly could go trade here to the little bit of a necktie. So I think Apple could have a little bounce up to about 396 or so. But then once it gets there, I think you're going to fall all the way down to the 200 moving average. That's my guess at least. All right, so interesting chart, nice bounce on Apple after some really ugly weak days on the stock, but it is attracting buyers today. Another stock that I harped on, I actually talked about this to my members as a buy last night in the nightly video that I put out, and also I talked about it on the Rant and Rave blog a little bit, which you can always view for free. GMCR. GMCR was at master support based on this little pivot low right here, and we talked about a bounce very likely in the scenario here, and look at the size of the bounce, guys. Huge bounce on GMCR, up over 10% today, and that's a fantastic bounce on GMCR, Green Mountain Coffee. Could it bounce a little bit more? Yeah, it's going to meet some resistance up here, though. Gap window is going to be some resistance. If it gets through there, it could trade to the 20 moving average. There are a couple other stocks out there that I've been talking to my members about in terms of being good plays. I don't want to reveal those here in the free video. You need to go at least take this free trial to the intraday stock chat or the research center to get that information, though. All right, guys. So keep it posted. Be ready. And again, there's plenty of money to be made, even if the markets aren't going anywhere in terms of being down yesterday and being right back up today. There's always trades out there, and I do have some exposure, obviously, to the market. And if you want to know what my trades are, my exact entries, my exact exits, you need to join the research center or the intraday stock chat. All right, guys. Take care. And again, let's make some money this afternoon. Join us here at InTheMoneyStocks.com.